Hello friends, let us start with phylum Chordata. So the main feature of these phylum is that notochord is present in the body, or at least at the developmental stage. So at least some stage of their life they have notochord. Pharyngeal gill slits are present uh, in the body, or at least during developmental stages. Single tubular spinal cord is present. Heart is on the ventral side. Now suppose this is the animal, this is the mouth, then this part is called dorsal, this part is called ventral. So we as human beings, we have heart on the ventral side, we are in the chordates. So subphylum Urochordata, these are marine animals. Their body is covered by skin like test or tunic. You can see the example of herdmania. So there are two stages of life in this animal. One is the larval stage, other is adult stage. So in larval stage, the animal can move very freely, it has a tail, it has notochord, but when it becomes an adult, then it settles down in one place, doesn't move. Okay, it is also, these type of animals are hermaphrodite, that means male and female sex organs are present on the same animal. Herdmania, Doliolum are the examples, you can see the examples. Now metamorphosis. So there are two stages, one is larval stage, other is adult stage. So larva is completely different than the adult and it metamorphosizes. So metamorphosis is a complete change that occurs. So you cannot recognize the two stages, means you cannot see that both are the same animal. Complete change occurs. Okay, so we have something called like a larva which can move here and there, and then we have the adult which will never move, settles down at the bottom. So Cephalochordata subphylum, you can see the typical structure of animals of Cephalochordata. They are fish-like animals. Notochord is present throughout the body. Pharynx is very large, containing gill slits. These animals are unisexual. Example is Amphioxus. Next is vertebrata or craniata. These animals, notochord is replaced by vertebral column. So here we have vertebral column. These animals, head is well developed, brain is developed, protected by cranium. So we are talking about ourselves. Our brain is protected by the cranium. So this bony structure, this is cranium. Brain is protected by cranium. Endoskeleton, either cartilaginous or bony. So we have endoskeleton, the bones that are inside. Okay, that is nothing but the endoskeleton. So in case of shark, it is cartilaginous. So cartilage is this. So this is not a bone, but it is hard than the skin. So this skin is soft, but this is little bit harder. This part is cartilage. So cartilaginous endoskeleton. Then some chordates are jawless. For example, agnatha, they are called as agnatha, and with some jaws, they are called as gnathostomata. So let us see cyclostomata. So vertebrata is further divided into 6 classes. Number 1 is class cyclostomata. Look at the animal. By looking at the animals, you get the features. So these have jawless mouth with sucker. So the skin is soft without any scale. Paired appendages are absent. Paired joints, okay, to the body, they are absent. Endoskeleton is cartilaginous. These are ectoparasite. What they do, they go and attach to some fish and they suck the nutrition. So example, petromyzon, you can see their body, how the sucker is there. So with the help of sucker, they go and attach to the body of some large fish and suck the nutrition from the large fish. Wherever the fish goes, they follow. So ectoparasite, ecto means outside the body. They are dependent on food from others, but they attach themselves outside the body. Then we have Pisces. These are cold-blooded aquatic animals living in marine and fresh water. So look at this one. Pisces means fish, very simple, and they are cold-blooded. Cold-blooded means what? If the temperature of the water goes down, their body temperature also goes down. And then another type is their warm-blooded. We are warm-blooded. Whatever the temperature outside is, our body tries to maintain 37 degrees Celsius. So we maintain our own temperature irrespective of the temperature outside. So if it is hot outside, we'll sweat and reduce the temperature of our body. If it is cold outside, we'll burn more of the food that we have eaten and produce more energy. Okay, more carbohydrates will burn. Look at the shape. This shape is specially designed to minimize the water resistance. This is called as a spindle shape. Now look at this fish, how it is. This shape is called as spindle shape. Now when the fish goes through water, it can cut the water very easily. If the water is coming, the resistance of water will be less. So the design is such, nature has designed the fish such that it should be able to cut the water very quickly. They have paired and unpaired fins. Now look at the fins, how they are. Paired fins, that means in a set of two. Then unpaired fins are also there. So you can see lateral line is there, dorsal fin, caudal fin, ventral fin, pelvic fin. So different types of fins are there. Exoskeleton in form of scales. So if you see their body, outer part of their body has scales. That is a covering for protection. Endoskeleton is either cartilaginous or bony. Now respiration occurs by gills. Example rohu, pomfret, sea, horse, etc. All the fish are coming inside this. Now remember, whale is not a fish. Whale cannot breathe in water. Okay, so it is not under Pisces. Shark is under Pisces, Scalidon. Then we have amphibians. Now remember, first chapter we have studied that the Pisces have converted into amphibians. First the fish were there, and the fish themselves, they got on the land and started inhaling in land, on land. So these amphibians have evolved from Pisces. These are strict aquatic during larval life. So if you take out the larva outside the water, it will not survive. But afterwards, when it metamorphoses, complete change occurs in adult life, it can live both in water as well as in air. So it can perform the respiration by skin inside water, and when it's outside the water, it has lungs to perform it. Aerial respiration. Aerial means through air. So it can live both in water as well as outside water. But they need to keep their skin moist. If you look at frog and toad. So exoskeleton is absent. Digits are without claws. Digits are this. So these are digits. They don't have claws. So skin is without any derivative. It is kept usually moist for respiration. Ear is absent. External ear, like we have ear here. They don't have it. You can see. But tympanum is present. So tympanum can sense the vibrations. Neck is absent. Eyes are prominent. Okay, with eyelids. Example frog. So look at the characters of frog. These are the examples of amphibians. So amphibians means what? Those who can live inside water also, breathe inside water also, and who can breathe outside water. So there are some snakes which go underwater, but that doesn't mean they can breathe in water. They have to come to the surface. Maybe they can stop their breath for a while, but they have to come to the surface to breathe, remember. So they are not truly aquatic. Now reptiles. Now from amphibians, reptiles have evolved. So these were the first true terrestrial animals with creeping movement. They had to support their body, so they show creeping movement. And they are cold blooded, so they cannot maintain their own temperature. So if a crocodile is there, the crocodile comes out of the water and takes the sunlight till the body temperature goes up, it stays outside. The blood is circulated, the blood becomes warm, and then it can go inside the water for hunting. Okay, they creep on their body as their body cannot support, cannot be lifted, very heavy. Their skin is dry, scales, neck is absent, neck is present between head and trunk. External ear is absent, digits provide with claws. So look at the picture, they have shown us wall lizard. So tortoise, wall lizard, these are examples of reptiles. Then we have aves. So aves are nothing but they have evolved from dinosaurs, remember. So reptiles, they convert, means dinosaurs are considered to be reptiles, and those dinosaurs, some of them, they developed, evolved into birds. So vertebrates are completely adapted for aerial life, these type of vertebrates, and they are warm blooded. Now this is a new character that they have evolved. They can maintain their body temperature. They are also called as homeotherms. Their body is spindle shape. Again, see the shape. It is for minimizing air resistance. So for fish, it was water resistance. For aves, it is the air resistance. So body is streamlined. The air passes from the sides. So air resistance is very less. Forelimbs are modified into wings, and digits are covered with scales and bare claws. Exoskeleton is present in form of feathers. So feathers are present. Neck is present between head and trunk. Jaws are modified into beak. So you just see the characters, very simple. You can see there are feathers. The body is adapted for aerial mode. It can fly very nicely. Body is designed that way. The bones are very light in weight. Okay, they are not very heavy. The wings are very strong. They can lift their body. Bat is not a bird, remember. So they have shown us bat. Bat is a mammal. So it has developed itself. It said that I want to fly over a period of millions of years. It tried, and then its four limbs have modified. It's something like wings, that is called a patagium. You can see the legs, body, eyes. So these have mammary glands. So they are from mammals. We are also mammals. So we are warm-blooded. We have head, neck, trunk and tail. We don't have tail, but other animals of our class have tail. Then digits are provided with nails, claws and hooves. Exoskeleton is in the form of hair, fur. Example, all the animals that we see that are around, most of them, they are mammals. Elephants, humans, kangaroos, dolphin, bat, etc. Okay, this finishes the chapter. So varieties of animals are found in the surrounding. We should be cautious not causing harm to the animals during the studies and observations. So it is very important for us to conserve the environment, save these animals. Now for this chapter, you need to read at least, you have to read it again and again and at least learn 3 characters from each of these classes. So if you look at the classes, I think reptiles are important, then amphibians, they are different, they are important. Okay, this can come in exam. So they will show you a diagram and they might ask you to label it. Okay, so I'll be putting more videos related to 10th standard. Please see the playlist. There are many videos related to this. Thank you very much.